This is the James Riady case study being presented to you by Caleb, Luke, Liam and Brendan.
The background facts of the James Riady case study is that James Riady is the deputy chairman of the Lippo Group. The Lippo Group is an Indonesian conglomerate founded by Mokhtar Riady, who is James's father. The Lippo Group contains many subsidiaries, including real estate, media and telecommunications. James Riady was fined US $8.6 million after pleading guilty to providing foreign funds to the Democratic Party in the 1996 presidential campaign. This is the largest ever fine recorded in a case regarding campaign finance and was prohibited from ever visiting the USA for life.
Throughout this case study of James Riady, there are many broad issues and problems. These broad issues and problems include social responsibility and ethics, leadership, culture, change and innovation, decision making, and planning. Given all these issues and problems within this case study, there are three key issues that need to be focused on. These are the social responsibilities and ethics, leadership, and culture within the company. Ethics and social responsibility is an issue for James Riady, as he is not acting in a manner that is considered acceptable by society. James Riady uses his religion and his own moral high grounds as the leading factor in his decision making. This is an ethics problem as Riady focuses on what he thinks is okay and not what the population and government determines as being correct. A prime example of this is James Riady's actions in providing funds to the Democratic Party in 1996, as it shows that he does not follow the ethics of an external environment nor the Lippo Group itself. The cultural issues within the management of the Lippo Group has come directly from James Riady himself, as he has managed to keep a position within Lippo Group even after being found guilty of providing foreign funds to the Democratic Party. The cultural problems caused due to Riady keeping his position affect staff morale as they question the management of the company they work for. Leadership is an issue within the Lippo Group, mainly due to James Riady's actions in the Clinton finance scandal. This emphasises that management needs to improve the leadership processes. New leadership styles and processes need to be implemented to improve the decision making made by the leaders of the business. Leadership issues also affects the brand image of the Lippo Group, as well as the managers that are making these poor decisions.
Social responsibility and ethics theory. Ethics are used as a code of moral principles that set standards to distinguish between good or bad and right or wrong for both the individual and wider community, thus impacting decisions that the business decide to make depending on their ethical behaviour. The four views of ethics are based on the individualism view, the utilitarian views, moral rights views, and justice views. These views are all taken into account when organisations and managers are faced with issues that involve resource allocation, conflict, or discrimination within the environment. There can also be a range of steps that managers and top managers can follow to ensure the best ethical decision is made to eliminate any internal or external pressures such as governments, competing organisations, or personal needs. These steps are: recognise the dilemma, get the facts, identify your options, test each option by using the questions of is it legal, is it right, or is it beneficial. Then decide which option to follow, double check decisions by asking follow-up questions, and then finally action can be taken. Social responsibility, which is going above and beyond the call of duty to benefit own interests and external stakeholders. To find the level of social responsibility, the business must assess if it's meeting its economic, legal, ethical, and discretionary responsibilities. Once answered, the organisation can measure which category of social responsibility the organisation fits into. This could be either a proactive, accommodative, defensive, or obstructive strategy to social responsibility. Leadership theory. Leadership is essentially the motivation that ignites an incentive for others to work hard and be passionate towards tasks that need to be completed. But there are a variety of leadership styles that can be used to achieve different objectives within the organisation. These styles used may either be improvised management, which show both low concern for task and people, authority obedience management, which show high task and low concern for people, country club management, showing high concern for people and low concern for task, middle of the road management, which shows a no commitment to either task or people, and finally a team manager that shows a high degree of concern for both task and people. The success of the organisation leadership can be heavily influenced by the effectiveness of the leadership styles executed. According to Hursley's Blanchard situational leadership model, the way in which leaders may outlay their leadership depend on the readiness and willingness of the workforce and may change over time. This may require that leaders to delegate, participate, selling, or telling methods towards their followers. Another way of leadership is introduced in the House path goal leadership theory. This includes directive leadership, which is setting clear and concise procedures for followers, supportive leadership, which involves making the work environment as pleasant as possible, achievement-oriented leadership, allowing employees to strive to excellence by setting goals that allow them to better their performance. And finally, participatory leadership, which involves individuals to consult in the decision-making process. Cultural theory. A culture is a system of shared beliefs and values that develop within an organisation and guides the behaviours of its members, meaning this has a significant influence on how people act and perform. Having a strong culture is critical. This influences on what and how employees accomplish their objectives. When a good culture is created, a clear vision is given among employees that will build a connection between members of operating groups. The ways in which an organisation can promote a positive culture is by using techniques such as group-oriented tasks, encourage innovation, and make employees a top priority. An organisational culture can be broken up into two components of either core or observable. Observable culture is the visible aspects seen around the organisation's work environment. This may include things such as how people are presenting themselves in the workplace. The components of observable culture comprise of stories, rites and rituals, heroes, and symbols. Core values are fundamental beliefs that are shared among members that influence their behaviour. This will directly uplift the observable culture. Core values must require relevance, meaning the core values should support key performance objectives, pervasiveness, that the values are known by all members, strength, all values are accepted by everyone. Finally, symbolic leaders can be established to maintain a desirable culture. These leaders must strategically use a language such as language metaphors that clearly reinforce and communicate the core values to employees. Symbolic leaders outlay the observable culture of the business by using the key elements of daily organisational life to exemplify and convey the core values that the organisation is striving for.
To solve the problems within Lupo Group, strategic objectives need to be created and observed. So there's three strategic objectives for Lupo Group and James Riady are to implement a proactive strategy in regards to ethics. This will improve the decision-making process as well as the decisions made by Riady and other staff of Lupo Group. The second objective is to introduce a morale leadership style within the corporation. This is done through changing policies and higher management personnel. The third and final strategic objective for Lippo Group is to improve the culture of the corporation. This is important because it changes the way the staff have an outlook at what needs to be done and what is ethical and what isn't. It is crucial that James Riady's personnel, as well as the work ethic and professional behaviour of the staff in Lippo Group, is changed. If this is changed, then the company can continue to succeed well into the future and will have a lot less scandals surrounding it. The current culture of the company needs to be changed to promote fair and good workplace behaviour. For leadership, the objective is to introduce a leadership style based around morale within Lippo Group. This is done through implementing and changing policies and personnel in the corporation. The short-term task is to create policies that will allow increased morality and maintain morality when decisions are made by leadership. The resources required is the time that it takes to create the policies, the funds to have it analysed by a third party, as well as the loss in productivity that may be used when staff are taken away to create these policies. The barrier to success with creating policies is that management may not feel it necessary to change the leadership style within the corporation. The evidence of success is that new policies have been made and are being implemented, and that the change in decision making from management. The time frame for this short-term policy is 3 months. Medium-term task is to train management to make more morally correct decisions. This requires management staff, as well as time and money to train these managers. The barriers to success is that staff may refuse to change their policies and processes due to inertia or just plain stubbornness. The evidence of success is that more moral choices have been made by management and that there is a reduction in poor decisions making in regards to integrity. The time frame is about 6 to 7 months to get this task done. In the longer term, the plan is to introduce new members into the leadership team and hire management. This is either done through internal or external recruitment. The resources required is the money that is needed to recruit. This is through advertising, interviewing, and salary of new employees. The other resource required is the time to process and select the correct applicant. Barriers to success is inertia from management, as they might not like the people they work with changing, and the possibility of new staff members not suiting Lippo Group. The evidence of success is that there are new staff members in new positions and an improvement in the leadership style within the corporation. The time frame for this is 1 to 2 years.
The objective for social responsibility is to implement a proactive strategy in regards to ethics to improve decision making made by Riady and the other staff of Lippo Group. A short-term task is to conduct ethics training for all staff members. Resources required: time for staff members to spend training, money to fund courses and cover loss of productivity. Barriers to success: staff that are unwilling to change, staff that do not pay attention or implement that they have been trained. Evidence of success: staff being more ethical and socially aware in their decision-making process. Time taken, 2 to 3 months. Medium-term task: implement proactive strategy thinking from higher management. Resources required: management staff, training to mould the thinking of management staff and to set reasonable and ethical goals. Barriers to success: reductions of goals to maintain social responsibility may be treated as ineffective. Managers such as James Riady may continue to act on their own accord. Evidence of success: decrease in number of staff that feel they are compromising their own ethics. Change in the ethical tone of Lippo Group. Time taken, 4 to 6 months. Long-term task: implement codes of conduct relating to ethics, social responsibility. Resources required: money to teach staff on new codes, resources and staff to create consistent codes of conduct relating to all key issues. Barriers to success: staff that are unwilling to adapt to new ethics codes. Evidence of success: change in day-to-day behaviour and decision-making of employees of Lipo Group. Time taken, 12 to 18 months. The objective for organisational culture is to allow for employees and those outside the organisation to interact with the organisation on a positive level as displayed by Lipo Group. Short-term tasks: create group-oriented tasks, resources required, staff, time and effort, money to employ staff. Barrier to success: staff that are not inclined to work in groups. Evidence of success: lessen staff conflict and more social attitudes. Time taken, 3 months. Medium-term task: encourage innovation. Resources required: optimal staff training and guidance with reasonable achievable goals. Barrier to success: free thinking that allows for innovative thinking is hard to train. Evidence of success: greater use of regular principles applied in different ways. Time taken, 8 months. Long-term task: make employees top priority. Resources required: allocation of funds to desired faculties, e.g. human resources for employees. Barrier to success: understanding how to tend to each employee's individual needs. Evidence of success: an overall increase in mood of the workplace, allowing for more productive attitudes. Time taken, ongoing. In conclusion, James Riady is running a successful company. However, the organisation has some fairly obvious issues concerning it. The lack of social responsibility shown by the company in regards to foreign election campaigns is a serious issue. This has a flow-on effect throughout the company and leads to other problems, such as poor leadership strategies and workplace behaviour. By implementing the actions as previously stated above, the strategic objectives aimed to improve this company shall be met, allowing for continued success into the future.